Hello, and welcome to the first episode of a series without a name. I'm your host, Sarah Black, and this is my younger brother, Theodore Black. So Theo, I like to watch bad movies, which is often a punishing process.
Well, certainly for some of us it is.
There's a lot of reasons to watch bad movies, and we won't go into all of them. But there is that moment when you come across something that is beautiful.
I think your interpretation of beautiful might be slightly different than mine, but we'll go with it.
So, Kirby and I were going through the Mill Creek 50 sci-fi invasion, whatever, which is like 50
films that had cheap rights.
No rights, I think, is kind of how it works. That no one big enough to sue them or something along those lines. And a lot of those movies are painful and boring. Mm-hmm. And then we came across Alien Prey.
Insert clip.
I fell a little bit in love with Alien Prey.
We all have that special someone.
We've all been there, right?
We've all been there.
So, ever since I watched it, I've been wanting you to see it. And to kind of, because it's unique.
Unique is a word.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a medium bad movie aficionado, so I don't know, maybe there's dozens of these out there, but I think it has a unique backstory and a uniqueness.
Being subtle here. You're really not a medium bad movie lover. I think you do marathons with Kirby.
I feel like there are others out there who must watch more bad movies than me.
I mean, I'm sure there are, but you're talking about like somebody who's like an extreme movie, person, and like a not quite as extreme person. You're skirting the boundary between like extremism in bad movies and like just normally obsessed with bad movies.
Well, because it's a horror film, and now there are horror film aficionados who like have seen everything, which I am not. I don't fall into that. But anyway, so I wanted you to see it, and so going into this experience, what were your expectations?
Well, at first, I actually thought this film was Italian, which it's not.
It's not Italian.
It's not Italian in any way. I think that was my own fault because we had been talking about some other bad movie you were watching that was Italian. It may have even been...
We went to see Personal Shopper, which reminded me at times of... this is where my lack of knowledge will come up. The Italian horror of the 70s, which I think are called Gallo films. I don't... Maybe I'll know more next time, but maybe when we watch one, I'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of 70s Italian horror films.
Right.
It's not a terrible assumption to make.
Yeah.
But it is not an Italian film.
It's not an Italian film. It's actually British. I wasn't really sure what to expect. Well, for one thing, I knew that the title wasn't necessarily Alien Prey. It was like Alien or Prey or Alien Prey because like...
I don't think it was ever Alien.
So it was either Prey or Alien Prey.
Yes.
And I was never like totally positive what I was getting into because I wasn't sure because the name of the movie matters. I was kind of expecting some bad horror movie that had interesting... some sort of interesting like plot thing going on.
You didn't expect it to be interesting, though. That's touching.
Yes,
I'm glad.
You really wanted me to watch this. And so, like, normally I'd be like, well, why does she want me to watch a bad movie? But no, I trust my sister to some degree. Sometimes full-heartedly.
To a degree.
To a degree.
You did go see Personal Shopper with us, I
did
understand.
Go see Personal Shopper, which, well, that was a special movie in its own. We should really do a video about that one.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I was expecting it to have some sort of thing in the story or plot that was just quizzical enough as to, like, make me interested. That's what I got.
Yeah, but you didn't know what it was going to be.
But I didn't know what it was going to be. I had no clue anything about this story.
Very strange, not for male anyway.
So we watched the movie, and then I revealed an important piece of information to you. A piece of information I certainly did not know going into. Theodore Black, what was that piece of information?
This British This British horror film from the 70s is based on a D.H. Lawrence novella that also has a movie made in the 60s.
That stars Dave.
It stars Dave from 2001: A Space Odyssey,
And actually one of the women in it is an Oscar-winning actress who was very popular at the time, apparently.
Yeah. And,
Who knew?
Who knew?
So, to give you the full experience, we then did what me and Kirby had done, and we watched The Fox.
Yeah. There's a funny thing about The Fox. No alien.
No alien in The Fox.
Nothing.
This brings to a close today's broadcast of Milestones in Music.
One of the big questions I have that I'm not going to get answered, and I looked for and did not find any answers to, is, did they base this on the movie or the book? The writer of Alien Prey is named Max Cuffs. And he's only ever written for this film. And if you look up Max Cuffs, there is a brand of flexible, easy-to-use cuffs called Max Cuffs. But you will not find anything out about it.
So we're talking like... Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not going to find anything else. The movie The Fox came out about 10 years before Alien Prey. And it was the 5th most popular movie in Britain when it came out. And there aren't that many people in Britain... So that's like everyone saw it, right? I mean, no, I don't think math-wise that makes any sense, but...
No, that's not how that works mathematically.
What a funny question.
So that's my big question, and the truth is you won't find much information about Alien Prey online. I will say, I first watched it maybe 2 years ago, and the Wikipedia article on it was like this. And now it's like this.
Right.
But it's still... It's a lot of quotes from horror books.
Yeah.
And some of it talks about the gender politics, and we'll get into some of that ourselves. So, I guess...
Without further ado,
let's get into it a little bit here.
Yeah.
Come on.
So tell me what you did think of it.
So, it's a fascinating thing to watch two movies that have very similar plots and stories.
There's a fox in both of them.
There's a fox in both of them.
That's right. It was a fox that killed those rabbits. For sakes, March, you're going to lose him again. Shoot again.
It's amazing because I'm watching Alien Prey and I'm like, the filmmaking in this is not the most amazing I've ever seen. The cinematography is actually decent, but like, I mean, at least when they had the chance to do some of it's just like these terrible wide shots.
One thing Wikipedia will tell you is that most of the people working on Alien Prey had just come off of one of the Pink Panther movies.
Right.
Which is like, hey.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
The most interesting thing to me is that Alien Prey is not a horror film.
It really isn't.
If you watch the trailer...
Which we did right after we...
Which we did. Insert trailer here.
Cato to command ship.
Command ship.
I am now in orbit.
Proceed with mission.
UFOs, fact or fiction? Space explorers are figments of the mind.
Sets the whole thing up as like some sort of space horror film with an alien. And there's
almost...
all these shots of like them attacking each other and doing stuff. There's like 5 minutes of that in the movie.
And they use all 5 minutes.
All 5 minutes in the trailer.
Yes.
Not a horror film. And, spoilers aside, spoilers, the alien shows up in the first, literally, 2 minutes of the movie anyways.
Cato to command ship.
Command ship.
I am now in orbit.
Proceed with mission.
Switching to portable transmitter.
Well, you should know there's an alien. It's
Yeah,
called,
I mean,
But
you could do a lot of things with that. No, this Alien Prey, alien, immediately.
Yeah.
So it's not a horror film.
But it does start with him attacking people.
It does start with him attacking people, but it's more like slashery. It's not really supposed to be that horrifying. At least, I mean, it's a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be horrifying. It's just the next thing that happens is I think we spend 10 minutes with two women living on a farm together.
Muesli?
No thanks.
You're more good than that chemical muck you drink.
I'm addicted. A muck addict.
You'll regret it when you're older.
I think so. Yeah, well, and then they come to this section where the alien comes from the bushes towards the house. And it's actually like almost it's a shot remake of the Fox movie where the fox is coming through the branches to get a chicken. Which is like, it's just, I mean, what's the symbology there? I don't know. Is the alien the fox in this one, even though there is a fox in the Alien Prey? I don't know. But yeah, so not a horror movie.
Well, what is it then?
It's like a psychological drama.
Well, that's the thing. That's pretty much what the D.H. Lawrence...
Yeah, they're both
No,
basically...
I mean, just not to... spoilers on the D.H. Lawrence novella. It's not a horror novella either. It's a little existentially horrifying,
yeah,
as
existential horror, but there's no actual, like, horror.
as literature can often be. Most of the movie is really spent with these three people, and in this way it is like The Fox. Two women who've been managing a farm on their own, and an alien. And in The Fox, it's two women who've been managing a farm on their own, and some guy that shows up.
It's the grandson of the previous owner.
Yeah. And the tension that arises between them.
Pretty much. I mean, both movies are really based off of... The psychological drama comes from the power struggles that exist between the two women and the man in The Fox, and in Alien Prey, it's kind of like...
Between everyone. Yeah.
Like, and it's really... Both movies are focused on just the drama between them and the psychological sort of warfare that's going on between all three of them, which is totally fascinating, but not a horror film. It's more psychological, existential horror.
Yeah.
And really, that's in The Fox. There's not a lot of existential horror.
No, because the characters aren't really ones that you relate to at the end of the day.
Yeah, like they're...
But I have trouble relating to the ones in The Fox, too, to be honest.
I mean, I relate more to the ones probably in Alien Prey
I
than
do,
The Fox.
because they're really responding to some base instincts.
I would say in neither case are we really thrown into, like, some movies are like thrown into the characters. That's not how it is for these two movies.
No.
In each one, the characters are held at a distance. Probably in The Fox, you're supposed to sympathize with them in some way.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
No.
So The Fox is like classical Hollywood style filmmaking. It's not... There's not like a lot. It's like, it's easy cuts.
I feel like it's definitely veering into this. I mean, it's 1967, and to me, it's got that naturalism that they started kind of going for in the 70s.
Well, that's true. So it's not classical Hollywood. That's wrong. It is more like naturalistic. You're right. It's got some style. Like there's definitely things it's doing with the camera angles, with the acting, lighting. Like it's more, but it's more naturalistic. The cinematography in both of them is actually pretty good, even though in Alien Prey they only had like 10 days. Some of the shots in Alien Prey are just master shots. They didn't have time to film anything else. Those are not so exciting, but some of the rest of the shots in Alien Prey are actually kind of neat. The Fox had plenty of time, I assume, and so most of the shots are cool or interesting, or they have clever cinematography. Good stuff. Alien Prey. So other than the cinematography for Alien Prey, most of the filmmaking is a little shoddy.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, no disrespect to anybody who worked on the movie. It was shot in 10 days. The lighting is weird in a bunch of shots. They worked with a lot of natural light.
Okay, let's be a little fair, too, though. Alien Prey we are watching on an unrestored...
It's also, on an unrestored...
Although I don't know that the Fox looked like it had been particularly well preserved either.
But, like, you can... Like,
I don't think they're, like, topping the list of films to preserve by the AFI or whatever.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But even in the Fox, you can tell a level of care, and time, obviously.
Yeah.
Care and time was set into everything, and in Alien Prey, certainly some shots are better than others.
Yeah.
There's moments in Alien Prey where it's like just somebody walking from somewhere to somewhere else, and there's like really nothing going on in the frame other than that.
Yeah, and you notice some, like we said, the short filming time, they got a master, they didn't have time for close-ups, and the scene kind of could have used a close-up.
Yeah, the audio really in either movie is particularly unique, but they're doing more in The Fox than they are in Alien Prey. It's really just whatever they had for Alien Prey. Again, I don't know if there's more in the audio track that you just can't get because it's such a poor copy of it, but I have a feeling there's nothing in there.
They both had interesting locations. I think the Fox filmed in Canada and some, farm.
Yeah,
and I
it's
think
mostly during winter.
And I think from what I read that Alien Prey shot at that specific house, and that was part of the reason they only had so many days. And, both of them are almost play-like in that you have only a few characters and kind of main location.
It's not like one-room filmmaking because they have the full reign of like the farm, but it's very tight filmmaking anyways. Stop it. It's very tight filmmaking.
I would even say Alien Prey seems to use more of its outdoor location, maybe for lighting purposes even.
I was going to say, like, it uses more of its outdoor stuff, but it doesn't really give you this expansive view of everything outside. We're filming, stop it!
Low-budget filmmaking.
Low-budget filmmaking. Yeah, and they even though they're showing the outside...
Oh my god!
Even though they're filming and they're using the outside in Alien Prey, they're not really showing the wide expanse of everything. It's really always tight shots, not like tight shots like on everybody's body, but just tight shots, tightly framed shots. Not a lot of like pointing the camera up or shooting from a high up angle. Almost all of it is done from probably a tripod of some kind. And a lot of it is in also the forest, so even though they're outside, it's still kind of condensed.
Yeah.
There's more space given in the Fox because they do a couple of like more expansive shots of the farm, of the wilderness. But even in the Fox, it's all the snow, and they're really not giving like.
I got really tired of the chicken coop. I felt like we were in the chicken coop a lot.
Well, in the Fox meanders a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like. I mean, actually, the Fox is probably worse than Alien Prey, really. There's a lot of characters going from one place to another, looking at each other expressively.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's just like, there's not a lot happening.
Yeah. To me, one of the huge differences between the two is the characters.
Yeah.
It's implied that they're lesbians in the Fox. They are stated outright to be lovers in Alien Prey.
Marge, I'm so afraid. I'm sorry. I'm so afraid. What's happening to
Nothing's going to hurt you,
What's
Joe.
happening?
Listen, he'll be gone in 2 days.
You taught me so many beautiful things.
I only want to make you happy.
Which I guess is either 10 years difference or just the difference between slightly more mainstream and low-budget filmmaking.
Well, and exploitation filmmaking, kind of.
Yeah.
And also there's an alien in Alien Prey. It's a little different. Instead of someone's grandson.
Doesn't William Grenfell live here?
No. Now I asked you, what do you want?
Well, his grandson.
Yeah.
Alien. And it still has, though, that feeling of, like, women in their own space and then...
a man invading it.
Or something foreign.
Something foreign. Well, something foreign invading it. I feel like in the Fox, you know, I don't even remember the character's name, Dave from 2001, is like masculinity invading the feminine space that March and Jill occupy. Whereas in Alien Prey, it's almost like the two are already at odds. And so the alien comes in and isn't really invading, I mean, well, it's literally invading, I suppose.
Yes.
But not invading the space as much as even the character in the Fox is.
Well, the Fox is more subtle. You've got two women who don't seem to have a relationship even at the beginning, but one of them is very needy and dependent on the other who does all the man jobs. And I skimmed the novella, to be honest, and they describe March as manly, which it's written in 1922. Okay. I mean, just go with it.
Yeah.
And there's that kind of tension between the two of them because, you know, one of them is really doing more work than the other. And it's interesting to me that the man then shows up and goes for the one that's doing the more manly stuff.
Yeah.
But then in Alien Prey, and I have to say probably what I love about it, because I love that story where you think it's one thing. It's like, oh no, they're these two happy women and they love each other and it's beautiful, and then this, you know, alien invades. No, one of the women is a crazy murderer.
He is dangerous. I think he's mad.
Who probably did away with the last man who showed interest in the other woman. Yeah. Simon, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Simon, we never knew him.
And the other one is kind of helpless in an annoying way.
What's your first name?
Anders.
Anders Anderson?
Yes.
Nice and poetic.
And very needy in a destructive way, which is probably the most similar to the original character.
Well, there she goes again. The deaf ear and the distant stare.
Every time I open my mouth, I feel I'm intruding.
Yeah, but she takes it to another level.
Joe, about earlier, I'm sorry, okay?
Definitely.
She dials it to 11. Like,
yes, it's all dialed to 11.
It's all dialed to 11.
And then
but
the alien is an alien. The first thing we see him do is kill some people.
He eats them.
But there's a point at which you're almost not sure who's the bad guy.
Well, yeah, because Alien Prey isn't about the bad person. Alien Prey, as you've said, is about three crazy people, each with their own clear motivations. You just have to understand that they're all insane.
The lesbians in Alien Prey don't realize that he's an alien. They think that is a crazy person who's escaped from some nearby asylum?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they're crazy themselves, so it's never too clear what anybody thinks about anything. But
so in their way, they're kind of preying on him from their point of view. They don't know he's, like, they're just like, can we cut to the chase? They put him in a dress.
Another champagne.
Yeah.
They're like, what do we do with this slightly off guy that's shown up and we don't really know what to do? Let's put him in a dress.
And which follows the most perfect party scene you'll ever see in any movie. Dinner scene, really, although they label it a party.
Which, to, like, follow traditional norms isn't an emasculating thing.
Yeah, and, like, I mean...
The scene doesn't really treat it as emasculating, though, because he never is bothered by it.
Yeah, he's not bothered by it.
He's game.
He's game.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't know. He doesn't have any preconceivable notions on Earth, so he doesn't care. And they are, and I guess neither do they, sort of.
I mean, it's almost like that was all they had to put him in? I don't know.
Well, the thing is like, it also comes out of almost nowhere. There's a line that I missed when I was watching it.
What should we wear? Something really nice. And I'll put my hair up. But what can Anders wear?
I know exactly what he can wear.
Then it's the party scene, and Anders Anderson is in a dress.
Isn't she lovely?
She's got a better figure than you, too.
I just didn't expect it. Like, there's nothing wrong with men wearing dresses, but I was like, we're in 1970s.
That's the thing. It's almost
Britain. I don't know.
She presents it almost like it is this revenge thing, but they don't really.
But yeah, but then it doesn't really go anywhere.
I mean, the other one, the femme, we'll call her, is in a completely see-through jumper.
Oh, yeah, like
I mean, it's just bonkers. It's just insane.
Total.
It's just, the whole thing is insane.
Yeah. The thing is, it's this weird gender/power play between the three of them. And the alien, the thing is, there's two movies happening. The alien doesn't know he's in a gender thing. And he doesn't understand that there's, like, gender politics and a power struggle going on related to gender.
Yeah.
The alien is just interested in the power struggle, independent of the gender issue. So it's fascinating when the two meet, because you're kind of watching two stories happening at the same time.
Well, the alien is there looking for sources of protein. And the reason we haven't mentioned it is because it's really just, it's like voiceover every 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Kator to command ship.
Command ship.
I've made contact with human life forms.
But not to make it seem as though the Fox is some kind of BBC period piece, which it's not, because I don't know if, I mean, with Alien Prey, they definitely want that audience that wants to see lesbians getting it on hardcore.
Right.
But the Fox has a nude scene very early on.
Yeah.
And I think she masturbates.
Yes. Well, she's like starts.
Yeah.
I don't know that she like finishes.
She didn't seem very happy afterwards. It didn't seem
unfulfilling. In fact, that's probably part of the point.
Yeah.
In the Fox, it's actually kind of about female infertility, oddly. There's a thing about it, because March is, like, not into being the masculine, part of this relationship.
It feels like she's been pushed there.
She's been pushed there, and we actually get less of a backstory, really, in the Fox than we do for Alien Prey.
Yeah.
And, like, we don't really understand how that's happened.
March, will you get your feet off the table? Please. Thank you.
And Jill is doing much more of the traditional, like, house stuff where she's baking and she's doing the finances and stuff.
But interestingly enough, they didn't pick a traditionally feminine actress for that. She's got a very high forehead. She's got kind of bunny teeth. She's an interesting actress.
Yeah.
But she's not
traditionally...
She's not, I would say Jessica in Alien Prey is more...
Is the more traditionally, like, beautiful woman. I mean,
and
they're both beautiful,
yeah.
but, like, she's got the more traditional looks.
Yeah.
And I don't... It's actually... This is a part of the thing is, like, there's this... I mean, in both movies, there's gender and sex and politics, but in Alien Prey, I mean, the lesbian women just have at it. And they have sex, and it's like, cool. And it's like a little weird, because at that point, they're not as into each other, or at least what's her name?
You get the feeling that Jessica just goes with whoever will take care of her at any given moment. And Joe is kind of rightfully paranoid that if someone else comes along, Jessica might just go off with them.
Yeah. Can't you imagine that I might want to be with somebody else sometimes?
There can be nobody else.
But Joe, we're not the only people in the world.
Jessica, if you went away and allowed yourself to get screwed up...
I might find somebody who could understand, who could share.
No, I could never let that happen.
But in the Fox, it's actually much more like... It's actually harder to watch, because, like, there's no sex between the women at all. There's
until the end, but yeah.
In the end?
Isn't it implied that they get it on?
It's implied.
Yeah.
It's very...
Yeah.
And, like...
They kiss, though, don't they?
I think they kiss at one point.
Yeah.
It's very much the sour part of, like, a relationship between the two and the Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Dave, who is not his name in the movie, shows up, it's an intrusion, but he's really already, it's like March has just been waiting for this.
Yeah.
And it's so, I don't like the way they do that.
Ellen, I want to ask you to marry me.
So there's that.
And then we have the Fox in both of them.
Yes. Which is, in both cases, the male invader, takes care of the Fox. It is slightly more comical in Alien Prey.
Slightly is being a little low-key about it. It's hilarious. The alien is, like, going after the Fox, and then he just jumps. It's great. It's hilarious. In the Fox, it's actually a little like creepy.
Yeah, well, and then later the fox gets nailed to a
wall.
So they both catch foxes. The symbolism of it gets really weird in Alien Prey, because that's what leads to the party, isn't it?
Joe, can we have a party? We could dress up and we could have champagne.
And put him in a dress. And they make a cake that has a fox on it.
It has a fox on it, which is bizarre.
Look, do you like it? I thought the fox was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Like, not only does that take lots of time and effort, so I can't believe that actually happened, but, like, it's so... Okay. It's just weird.
Yes.
In the Fox, when Dave kills the fox, it's like he's... I mean, in both, they're becoming the predator in the situation. In Alien, he's already the predator. He's just signifying he's the predator, sort of, except the symbology is a little looser. But in the Fox... he's totally taking on the role of predator in that situation, now making the women the prey, because the women are the prey to the fox.
Right. Except that March can't bring herself to shoot that fox.
Yeah, because she likes having him there.
In the fox.
Yeah, because the fox can maintain the status of predator, and March doesn't have to take it on, or doesn't have to deal with it.
Maybe she's kind of hoping the fox will take out all the chickens and she'll get out of that situation.
Maybe so. But then instead Dave comes in and kills the fox.
Right.
And that's kind of like, that's the end, that's the beginning of the end for them.
Whereas in Alien Prey, Joe would just shoot that fucking fox if she could just get it.
Oh, shit!
In Alien Prey, you immediately go to the party scene, which, again, cake and dress. And then in the Fox, you have the party scene. And if you compare the two, they're very weird.
She was a maiden, young and respectable. He was a rake and proud of his skill.
The foxes, yeah, I mean, at one point they're like, we're having a party, but they're just like sitting and having...
Yeah, drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
And March has a little too much to drink.
To me, also, another thing that I didn't really notice until we rewatched it was that in the Fox, there's this, like, focus on March, the masculine of the two women.
Yeah.
And in Alien Prey, it's really on the three of them. You kind of go back and forth between all three.
It's much more even in Alien Prey.
Yeah.
In the Fox, it's really on March and occasionally sort of Dave and Jill, but like it's really all surrounding March.
Which is hard because I didn't always know why she was doing what she was doing or what she was interested in.
That's the existentially horrifying part, because it feels like this is society, this is how it has to be. It's very oppressive, masculine, oppressive.
Yeah.
Whereas in Alien Prey, not like that. They're all insane.
Yeah.
And the focus is just on each one of them and their own issues. Joe is overprotective and overbearing and doesn't want to lose Jessica. Jessica is flighty and wants to be doing something more.
I think she wants to get off the farm.
She wants to get off the farm.
That's her farm that she grew up on.
Yeah.
And she's feeling stifled there.
Yeah, and then, the alien just wants to eat them.
Yeah.
And
he wants to find something to eat.
Yeah, and it's fascinating, and he's like, there's almost this undercurrent that he's sort of enjoying his stay there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
Like there's an interplay between the three, whereas in the Fox, it's really just all March and how it affects her.
Yeah.
It's not really, I mean, even though there is stuff about Jill and Dave, it really all comes back to March.
Yeah. Now, one thing that Alien Prey has that the Fox does not is the most epic, disgusting drowning scene of all time. From what I understand, that water was filthy. They all had to get tetanus shots afterwards. And then, I can't remember, I don't think it was the director, I think it was like the producer was like, let's use all of it. And they shot it in slow motion so that the actors didn't have to be in it too long. I don't know.
It's like, okay, I want to insert the music right here that's playing, because not only does the scene look ridiculous, it's got this really intense, like warbling. Isn't this like the synthesizer?
Nice.
Isn't this where the synthesizer is happening?
Well, yeah, I don't think they had a full orchestra doing the musical accompaniment.
Really like warbly music and everybody moving around and like it's just intense.
And the water looks like it's about 3 feet deep.
Yeah, and the other thing, the premise for all of this, Alien can't swim. Forgot to mention that. Alien, I think, goes into the water for some reason. Can't swim. Water appears to be about 3 feet deep. Jessica runs in after to save him, then Joe. And they're all, like, thrashing around, and the alien is just going wild, and it's all in slow motion, and it's like a minute or two in this film. Like, it's a long, long take. It's gotta be.
Plot-wise, it actually is this interesting moment where Joe would really like the alien to die, because she is certain that he's going to take Jessica away from her.
Yeah.
And this is the moment where she kind of makes the decision that'll somewhat lead to her own death. Although after this, she almost kills Jessica by bashing her head against
a plant base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this moment happening, but mostly you're just like, what?
Yeah. It's like something is happening. Here's the thing. It is so far beyond us what is happening in this scene. We cannot understand what is happening because we talked about the gender politics, and we have this thing we feel the alien prey is about and the fox is about. Nothing in the fox that's comparable to this scene at all. Doesn't exist.
My guess is it doesn't. I don't know if it's in the novella.
I'm going to imagine it isn't.
Because my guess is that Dave, who's Paul in the movie and actually I think Henry in the book, is not an alien in the book.
Right.
And he's a
sailor.
He's a sailor.
He can probably swim.
They couldn't always,
Right.
But it's possible.
Yeah. It's a fascinating scene.
I would say the two standout scenes for me in Alien Prey are the party scene.
We're gonna play a game. Hide and seek.
What's a game?
What you play, silly.
Which, I think is good, bad.
Yeah.
In the sense, I do like the dynamics going on. I like how bonkers it is.
Yeah.
And then there's the drowning scene, which is I guess it's still good, bad, but it's just bewildering.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's actually really cool to watch because it's so out there and it almost doesn't fit into the movie. Yeah. It's like being it's like a non sequitur. It's almost a non sequitur. It does fit into the movie, but it's almost a non sequitur. Yeah. And somehow it makes the movie better by being there, even though it doesn't exactly fit.
I mean, if you cut it out, the movie would still make sense. It might. I mean, the movie's a short movie, so they probably needed that running time.
Yeah, Jesus.
It's an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, the Fox could be an hour and 25 and be fine.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
And they both end in death. Even though The Fox is not a horror film, it ends with a tree falling on a woman, and she dies.
Kill!
Yeah.
And then March is stuck with Dave, which is a horrifying prospect.
Yeah, and that's the thing,
It'll be all right. I know you'll be happy.
Will I?
even though Alien Prey is billed as the horror film, the fox is more horrifying.
Yeah.
And it may be partially like, this is 50 years later and the way we view gender in society and traditional society.
Novella's from 22, so that's actually like almost 100 years.
Almost 100 years. And it's like the man has come in to right things and take the woman away. And I think a part of the point of the fox is how wrong this is.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to tell what they meant because it's not clear.
Yeah.
It is not clear in the fox how we are supposed to feel about it. And that's fine. We can take our own impression. But because we're not sure how it feels, it also feels like they're saying, well, no, this had to happen because it can't be the other way.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's really hard to tell what the movie is really saying.
Yeah.
Like, we can infer what we want, but it's hard to know what the movie meant for us to think of it. And it's just uncomfortable. And because, in the end, Jill has to die.
Yeah. Because
she knows she can't live in the situation, it makes it all the more tragic and horrifying.
Yeah. And then in Alien Prey, we get a very disturbing death scene for Jessica.
Yeah.
And
she rips her, has violent sex with her and then rips her throat out.
Yes.
She seems to be into the violent sex, so that part's okay.
It was hard to tell.
But then he just rips her throat out and eats.
Well, and just to further complicate matters, Joe thinks she's killed Jessica. The only person who doesn't kill or think she's killed someone is Jessica.
Yeah.
Joe, that's the thing. The alien and Joe are
they're
very similarly
it's almost presenting Joe as being, they're all aliens in Alien Prey.
Yeah.
But really, because they're just all but Joe is the same in Alien Prey. They're both predators. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
They're both predators in Alien Prey.
Yeah. And so Joe has gone to dig a grave for Jessica when
she does in 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's soft, loamy earth, I guess. And then Alien comes and kills her.
Comes and kills her and eats both of them.
Yeah, and then calls back to say that the earth will be a great place for eating people. And you end thinking, oh no!
Cato calling command ship. Send advance parties immediately. Have now established humans high in protein and easy prey.
Yeah.
Not so much.
What I actually like is he says they're high in protein.
Yeah.
Which is yep.
I've actually understood from some stuff that actually humans don't make great eating. We're not actually that nutritious and filling.
I'm not sure where you
gotta think about all the chemicals modern people have in them, too.
Gosh, we're probably just all so processed. No alien would want to eat us.
Okay, so I have this thing. I don't find most modern horror very horrifying because I'm not afraid of monsters or aliens or sudden noises occurring in my house.
More annoyed at that last one.
So the fox, I think you're right, is more horrifying because this guy just comes and ruins everything and there's not really much you can do about it except let a tree fall on you.
It's presented, that there's nothing you can do about it. There's no way you can change it. This is the way society is. That's horrifying. Alien Prey, some alien is walking around, a very tall alien is walking around eating people.
And if an alien approaches you and tries to eat you, you can just shoot him. It's a cut and dry situation. There's no should I, shouldn't I?
Yeah, try to stab him with a knife or something.
No, just get that guy.
Yeah.
Just kill him.
Basically, most of the trailer consists of what happens in this last 5 minutes of the movie.
Yes.
And in the fox, Jill dies. She purposefully kills herself.
I was looking at the novella, and I don't know, it's hard to say. Or did he set her up so that he killed her? That's not the feeling I got from the movie, though.
In the movie, honestly, you told me that Jill purposefully stands there to die. I don't really believe that.
Okay.
I kind of understand that, and I could believe that might have been the intent, but the way it's shot and looks, she's just standing there and the tree falls on her, and it's not really like that. This is another reason why I didn't this is why I hated the ending. Now, I'm just going to put that away, just put that out there. And the reason I didn't like it is because she has to die.
Yeah.
For Dave and March to go off. And in a way, this is almost lends itself to the sort of this film might be oddly progressive in saying how horrible how this is toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine they didn't use that term at the time.
No.
But this makes the movie kind of about toxic
not
masculinity.
in 1967 and definitely not in 1922. But
no kidding. But she has to die for
Yeah.
his masculinity to survive. And it makes it this really toxic thing.
It
It doesn't portray it like that perfectly, which is why I'm like really iffy on the Fox, because it doesn't feel like it's really condemning that. It really just feels like it's showing this weird situation. And it's so ugly.
I did skim a tiny bit of the novella, the beginning and the end mostly, and there was more of a setup as far as the farm not doing well.
Yeah.
And which kind of, I think, gives more motivation for things later that I don't think they had in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's very clear at the end that March is not happy with him. He has not fully possessed her.
Yeah.
The way he wants to possess her. She goes off with him just 'cause.
But that sounds almost like it's something to do with him lacking in masculinity, as opposed to, yeah.
The things I like the most in The Fox are actually when it pushes that envelope a little bit, and that is Jill, who is just a little bonkers.
Yeah.
Even in The Fox, she's very needy, and she's nutty, and she's very strange.
Yeah.
And I liked her for it.
Yeah.
And I felt like March and Dave were kind of straight-laced by comparison, oddly enough.
They're trapped in the 1922 novella.
Yeah.
They're trapped in this toxic masculinity thing. And it's kind of interesting, but it's mostly sad.
Yeah. And I like the tree falling down on her because it was just like, well, how do we make this story stop? Let's just have a tree fall on this character.
Murder.
But if you look at the implications, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's a little like...
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It doesn't feel like it happens... It feels like it happens because the story needs it to happen.
Yeah, it feels like...
Which isn't great.
The plot is making things happen, not the characters.
Right.
And that's usually a bad thing. You can do it, and it's fine, but it doesn't work in this situation because it's a character piece. So the character should be determining the story.
And I feel like that leads perfectly into, I like Alien Prey better than The Fox.
I like Alien Prey better than The Fox.
Because...
Alien Prey is better than The Fox. I don't know how to say it.
Because, exactly, it is a character piece, and I have no clue why March agrees to marry Dave, and kind of...
There's the vague sense that she wants to get away from being the masculine character, but it feels so...
I think she feels obligated to take care of Jill, but, how is that going to be different with Dave?
She's just going to turn around and be the traditional,
she's going to have his babies and take care of them. Yeah.
It just seems so bad.
And we have called the characters of Alien Prey insane, but they all have clear motivations that I understand, and I can sympathize in the sense that I have felt those emotions on a level 5. But, we can all feel needy and possessive. We can all want to escape. We can all feel threatened by other people that show up. And we all get hungry.
For all the things that Alien Prey does, for the quality of the filmmaking, which isn't great, and for all of the weirdness in the story, and not everything in the story is perfect in Alien Prey by any means. There's a lot of random meandering parts, and it's got...
I kind of like those, though.
I think they detract from the story. And for everything, the insanity of the characters, which aren't always on a straight line, for the most part, they really are kind of on a straight line. They do some things that don't make sense, even in the sense of, them being insane.
Yeah.
If they're doing things that make sense for where they would be doing it, for the most part.
Yeah.
Minus those few moments. And I can get into their characters because I can feel like their characters. Whereas March, I don't understand at all. Dave is a dick. And I sympathize with Jill. That's what I sympathize with.
I'm she's an utter mess, but so am I.
Yeah, but so am I. And I totally understand why she's doing those things in the situation she's in. Yeah. She's completely understandable. Probably of all 6 characters, Jill is the one who's most understandable and whose motivation I understand the most. But the problem is March and Dave just don't work.
Yeah.
Their motivation is very weird, is very off. They're tricking themselves, I don't know.
Yeah, she agrees to marry him, but then doesn't want her to know, and then kind of lets him do the thing.
And then she goes back to, and it's going back and forth.
And I've read D.H. Lawrence, and I like him, and I have a feeling the novella is better. Because a lot of it, so much of it is internal. And it's really... There's a reason that books and movies are different mediums.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that I tend to like the movie adaptations of books I like tend to be where it is its own movie, not where they just took the book and put it on
You know, you
film.
can do that more with some books and less with others. Right. And I don't know how the Fox compares to the novella, but like it does in some places the Fox feels like it's very literary, but in the sense of, but not like the good literary. Like some movies can be literary and it's just like, well, that's interesting. In this one, it's literary and it's boring.
Yeah.
It's just wandering and nothing is happening.
I will say that. It is boring.
I got very bored watching The Fox at points. There's no point in Alien Prey where I got bored.
No.
Like, I mean, there are points where I thought it was stupid or lame or bad.
I'll give you a little bit of this. Everything we eat is home produce.
Home produce.
Really, if the quality of the filmmaking was better, Alien Prey would be a fine B to A movie. Whereas The Fox is like an A movie that's boring. Like, it's just not as good as Alien Prey.
The special effects do suck, though.
In Alien Prey.
Yes.
Yes. They're not very good.
It's not very scary.
The alien is ugly.
It looks like those plastic noses that you...
Yeah, he's just...
We all played with as kids.
Yeah, it looks like rubber prosthetics. It doesn't look like...
It doesn't
But,
look
like,
it.
it's not like within the very... You know, you can watch, like, a gory or a slasher movie, which aren't my thing, and they're all prosthetics, and that's fine, because everything's prosthetic. But this, it doesn't work. So...
And so I want to go back to my question. Why base a horror film? I'm glad they did it. But why base a horror film on a D.H. Lawrence novella from 1922? Or the movie they saw in 1967? I have a couple theories. One is that they had 10 days to shoot it, according to the fantastically researched Wikipedia article. And the script wasn't done when they started. So you know what? It gave them like a framework. It's like, let's take this like, you know, lesbians, guy shows up, guy kills Fox, and then guy ruins everything, but then horror, you know, and then we'll put the horror pieces in.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, or maybe not the weird thing, it is not advertised as being based on the Fox in any way.
I bet you somebody could sue Alien Prey for like something to do with the Fox because it's an adaptation. And it doesn't say that anywhere. Yeah. But Alien Prey is not a movie no one has the rights to it. Basically, it's 50 years old at this point.
Yeah.
It's fantastic that they did it. I have no idea why they do it though. It's like there's no answer to that question.
I don't like the concept of taking a pre-established property and mashing it with something else, a la Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I haven't actually seen the movie. The movie itself might be fine. The concept...
I've actually seen the movie. It's C. Very average.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But the concept of, like, you've already got this audience that likes Jane Austen, you've got this audience that likes zombies, let's put them together and then we get both audiences. Or, you know, I don't know. Something about it doesn't appeal to me. But for one thing, they didn't advertise this. And for another thing, I just can't see get the people who love D.H. Lawrence and the people that love alien movies and they'll both come see this movie. Like, that wasn't how this was going to work.
Instead of it being like two circles together, you've actually got that little cross section between the circles.
The Venn diagram.
The Venn diagram. There's that little section.
Instead, people who like D.H. Lawrence are like, I don't want to see an alien film. And people who like aliens are like, I don't want to see a D.H. Lawrence film. And so then you only get stuck with people who actually do like both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does make it its own thing. Like, it really... The thing is, this mashup kind of works because it makes it its own bizarre thing.
Yeah, like
it wouldn't work.
I can't think of any. I mean, there's so many movies out there. Clueless is based on Emma. Romeo and Juliet plots have been done tons of times. You know, there are these iconic storylines, and then there's this, which is a low-budget 70s British horror film that was like, well, we're just gonna use this plot.
Yeah.
Max Cuffs. I don't know. Because they don't talk about it. I've watched some of an interview with the director. I've looked at Wikipedia. I mean, and these are the limited sources you can go to find anything about Alien Prey anyway.
It's not like a movie that
and everybody's like, this is totally the Fox, but nobody who worked on it is like, this is the Fox. with aliens. It's really weird.
It's weird.
It's a weird story, and that's why Alien Prey is a weird story. The story behind Alien Prey is a story. There's a bunch of mystery to it, and that's why I like it.
It's pretty cool.